couple who met the love of their life online, did things work out? I went on a Hinge date with a boy that was visiting my city for a week. The date went really well. We like the same movies, music, have the same perspectives, and are generally pretty compatible. Because I knew he was just visiting, I went into this date hoping to make a new friend and keep things casual. He told me he's not looking for anything long-term either, so it seemed like we were on the same page. At the end of our date, he ended up bringing me over to the Airbnb he was staying at and hooked up. He says something along the lines of, "I'm really scared of hurting someone this nice." I wasn't attached to him at this point, so I laughed and ignored it, thinking I'd go home tomorrow morning and go our separate ways. Except that's not what happened. He ended up inviting me to accompany him the next day of his trip in my city. We get coffee, go to a museum, hike to the beach, and get dinner. We walk along the bay, get a drink, and watch the sunset. That night, I slept over again and we're talking about our lives and he's asking me really deep questions. I asked him what he's doing tomorrow and he said he wants to go to the zoo, but that he'd probably do that alone because he doesn't want to get too attached to me. I laughed and teased him saying that he likes me. To which he replies, "I really could." The next day, he ends up taking me to go to the zoo anyway and buys us matching shirts. It was a really good time. We make lofty travel plans for the future. The entire time I'm just learning more and more things that I like about him. It's a Saturday at this point, just 3 days after we had initially met. I knew he was driving back up to his city tomorrow, so I was aware that this was likely our last day together. I remember him finally driving me home after, thinking to myself, I really don't want to leave him. Eventually, he parks in my neighborhood to drop me off and says, "You know, if you were coming to my city earlier, I would have driven you up with me." To which I reply, "Let's do it." I tell him I'll cancel my flight and drive up with him. He checks his calendar just to make sure and gives me the okay. I go home, pack my bags when all of a sudden he calls me wanting to clear some things up before I commit to spending more time with him. He mentions that his parents are very opposed to him dating a non-Chinese partner. And that we can't be falling in love because he really sees a long-term friendship with me. I'm sad hearing this, but decided that it would be fun regardless. I hadn't realized my feelings at this point yet, either. I stayed with him again that night so we could leave in the morning. On Sunday, he drives me 550 miles up the coast with stops in random cities to explore.